Good morning. It's Sunday, November 24th, and I want to talk a little bit today about the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has rejected a request from the special prosecutor Jack Smith to hurry along the trial of Donald Trump, to get the public the answers that they need quickly before the upcoming election in 2024. But the Supreme Court, with 11 words, turned him down unanimously. So they're not in any position to rush this case along. This made me think about Donald Trump and his guilt or innocence. And his actions in this whole situation of going to court and everything proves to me that he's not an innocent man. Because if he was innocent, he would want this trial over with. He would not be using the delay tactics that he used throughout his business career when being sued, etc. So these delaying tactics and these excuses about his attorneys have to be home for the holidays and have a real Christmas in their lives. It's a lot of hokum, a lot of crap. Because these people are being paid good money to defend Donald Trump and to represent his innocence to the great country of the United States. Or should I say, the once great country of the United States. So why, if you're an innocent man, do you want to delay the results? Because if you were proved to be innocent immediately, then there would be no question about you running for re-election. There wouldn't be a black cloud hanging over your head. So that in and of itself makes me believe 100% that Donald Trump is guilty of all these actions, and there's no question about it. There's no question in my mind that he's guilty. And Jack Smith is doing everything possible to get this thing rolling and prove that he is guilty. And if he was innocent, he would step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing over, let's go to court. But he's not doing that. So in my mind, that just proves his guilt. And this man has finagled his entire life. If you look at the cases and look at the times that he has been sued and the times that he has stiffed people in doing business, and his actions when he was the president, how he fired everybody in sight that disagreed with him. Only people who were lackeys and willing to kiss his ass regularly stayed in his contingent. So this decision by the Supreme Court to get back to their regular schedule and not rush things is not a win for Donald Trump. It's just a delay in the final result to his immunity claim. And so it pushes Trump's trial off. But when that will really happen, nobody can be sure, because there are many actions that are taking place in the federal appeals court in Washington. And if that stuff turns out properly, then this case will end up before the Supreme Court justices. Now, what happens at that point and how the Supreme Court may handle it could still have profound implications both for whether the federal election interference indictment will stand and for whether Mr. Trump might succeed in pushing a trial past the election, when, if he wins the presidency, he could order the charges to be dropped. And I think that's ridiculous, that a president can declare himself innocent and protect himself to that degree. So what's Trump doing? What is Trump really doing? What is his issue? He's attempting to get the entire indictment against him tossed out with an argument that has never before been tested by the courts. Largely because no one else has ever made it this way. He's claiming that he is absolutely immune to criminal prosecution on the charges of election interference because they stem from acts that he took while in the White House. So is he claiming that you could be a criminal in the White House and do evil things and not be prosecuted? I tell you one thing right now. I don't want to be around to see that go to court and everything. I don't want to know that this country is stupid enough to allow criminals in the House to get away with everything. Because a guy like Trump is liable to kill somebody and demand immunity. Do we really want that to exist in our country? Just think about it. That's all I ask. Just think about that. Now, on the flip side, Judge Chutkin, who is handling the underlying case in the federal district court in Washington, rejected that claim in a decision that found that there was nothing in the Constitution or American history supporting the idea that the holder of the nation's highest position, once out of office, should not be subject to federal criminal law like everybody else. So Chutkin is saying that once you leave the office of the presidency, you're just like everybody else on the street. Whatever you do at that point comes under the law. You are not protected as you would be protected in the White House. And Mr. Trump, of course, appealed the decision to the first court above Judge Chutkin's courts, to the U.S. District Court of Appeal in the District of Columbia. And that is what caused the federal prosecutor, Jack Smith, to go before the Supreme Court and ask for a rush decision there, and you know he was turned down. So that's where it stands right now. And it's only a matter of time, a question of time as to how this thing will really play out. Because all of these legal shenanigans will continue to go on. And of course, Trump is going to try to keep this case rolling and rolling and rolling without any kind of decision until after the presidential election in 2024. Because he has a feeling that he can win that election and become the president again. And then he will stand up proudly and say, I declare myself innocent of all charges. And he'll get away with it. And that's a disgrace. That's a disgrace that this man is even in this position to run for president. This country is suffering right now. And we need great leadership. Not a leader who is in the game for himself, but a leader who is in the game for the country, for the people of this country, for somebody who can point us in the right direction, because we are sliding down a slippery slope to disaster. And I don't know how many people out there agree with me, but that's the way I see it. I see things happening in this country that had never happened before. I see people out there who believe in President Trump in spite of everything. And I believe that those who are supporting him agree with some of the things that he has seen and done. And I don't agree with any of them. And maybe that makes me an outsider in today's world, but that's where I stand. So I leave you with that this morning. A mess. Have a great day. Bye.